All right, so here's the scoop. Shan Diddy Combs was just spotted on the streets right before the feds swooped in and arrested him. Now, get this. He's locked up in the same cell where Jeffrey Epstein killed himself.
Well, here's a big story. Disgraced media mogul Shan Diddy Combs now on suicide watch in a Brooklyn detention center as he faces damning charges with a maximum sentence of life in prison. Things are getting real. Police arresting Combs last week on charges including racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pled not guilty. Now, the indictment reveals that Diddy organized, allegedly, sex performances known as freak-offs, and that during a March raid, authorities discovered drugs, AR-15s, and excessive amounts of baby oil and lubricant in his home. A lot of people talking about that. Diddy is sitting in this detention center we went and visited this week, where the conditions have been described as hell on earth. New York's Metropolitan Detention Center, known as the MDC, it's notorious for mice, maggots, inmate violence, power outages, even a death or two. Diddy is sleeping on a steel bed with a 1.5-inch mattress and no pillow. It's certainly a far cry from the LA and Miami mansions that he's...
Well, I knew this was going to happen. As soon as they raided the house in Miami, once the feds raid your house, there's always things that are going to come next. And one was the arrest. They had a lot of evidence that they were compiling against him, and they put it all together, and then they went after, now he surrendered with his attorneys to the Southern District to be arrested, and now he's been charged with...
You say his fame makes him a target.
Yes, in my humble estimation, his life, his safety is in jeopardy in any correctional lockup right now. If it is true, as reported, that he is housed in the special housing unit, it's important to note that the special housing unit is a lockdown, 24-hour lockdown unit. The MDC Brooklyn is a high-rise. The vast majority of the floors are general population floors, but the special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown facility. So this is for Mr. Combs' protection. His incredible worldwide celebrity combined with the allegations, the charges now, an indictment, of course, of acts of violence against women make him a very attractive target.
All right.
Obviously, they need to safeguard.
Right now, Diddy is being held in New York's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center. It's a nightmare of a facility, infamous for mice, inmate violence, and cramped steel beds. Think of it like taking the worst subway ride of your life, but permanent. A former warden has even said Diddy's life might be in serious danger while he's in there. Rumor has it Diddy's been placed on suicide watch since his arrest, and you know where this is going. They might say he killed himself, but let's be real. We all know what could really go down.
Spoken to one of them, they are both sex workers, currently sex workers. One of them says that they had an interaction with Diddy in 2014, and they are willing to tell the feds what they know about that interaction.
Jeremy Saland, a criminal defense attorney, weighing in.
You can't, as a prosecutor, subpoena or force a witness to come speak to you in your office, but you can speak to them to a grand jury where they can speak there or have to potentially speak there. So whether these are new witnesses, whether these are new complainants, meaning victim parties, making the allegations, will yet to be seen, but it doesn't bode well. It doesn't, certainly it's not a good thing if you're Sean Combs' team.
Fox News alert, the judge denied Diddy's appeal to get out on bail after the music mogul and Democrat community organizer was charged with sex trafficking and racketeering for forcing women into freak-off sex parties with male prostitutes that he recorded, then keeping them quiet through violence and blackmail. The feds say the investigation's still ongoing, and Diddy's a flight risk who's tampered with witnesses before and could do it again if he's free. Diddy offered $50 million and promised not to have any women over his house if they let him out, but the judge didn't budge. So Diddy's spending his days in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, New York's most notorious jail. It's known for its barbaric conditions, stabbings, murders, suicides, blackouts, and lockdowns. For dinner, Diddy can eat turkey with boiled potatoes and beets. Sources tell TMZ Diddy's being isolated from General Pop because some inmates maybe see taking him out as a badge of honor. He'll get 1 hour of rec time a day and 3 showers a week, and has to wake up at 6 a.m. to make his bed and mop his cell floor. A few celebrities who've spent time here: R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell, and our good friend Minnie Madoff. Diddy's lawyer says they're going to fight until the end, but the government's case looks rock solid. The prosecution has a mountain of evidence against them that they have from basically 300 grand jury subpoenas. The feds have materials from banks, tech companies, airlines, hotels, escort services, even Diddy's wealth management firm. They also have the testimony from dozens of witnesses and victims and evidence from Diddy's own electronic devices. The prosecution says they corroborated testimony about Diddy's freak-offs using travel records, payment records, and the videos. Diddy's alleged crimes go back years. In 2011, he kidnapped somebody at knife point and gunpoint so that he could break into a different person's house. 2 weeks later, someone in Diddy's crew found the victim's car, sliced open the convertible top, then dropped in a Molotov cocktail. Diddy's been running wild for at least 15 years, but he might not be able to slip out of this one. And he's only the first domino to fall.
If he gets racketeering and sex trafficking for freak-offs, it will be others involved.
Yes.
Like if you ever ran a train with Diddy, you're probably going to jail.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, that, you know, that's possibly on those cameras because he had cameras in the crib. So
Man.
people are thinking that maybe there'll be other people involved.
If you ever been
on those
butt naked,
cameras.
if you ever been butt naked anywhere with Diddy or half butt naked with Diddy, and there was some women around or some men around that he told you were part of the party, you're probably going to jail.
Immediately after Diddy was charged, we started seeing record executives resign and retire. We're not saying it's all connected, but the timing's interesting. Stacey Richmond's a music industry attorney. Do you think it's a coincidence that some of these record label executives started retiring?
I don't know that it's a coincidence. I think that the evidence will reveal people who have concerns. So we don't really have those answers yet. Clearly, it may be an indication of concern, or maybe just time to move on to greener pastures.
Will Diddy rat people out?
That is a personal decision for any individual. And the question of ratting out, I think in the government's eye, he's the top of the iceberg. Now, the next question is, what does he know about others who may have participated with him, like the gentleman just said a few minutes ago? What's on those videos?
So if he spills the beans and says this record label executive financed these parties, this guy did this guy did that, would that maybe reduce the time he spends in prison?
It's a conceptual possibility. What you're talking about is something known as a 5K1. That would mean that he was cooperating. The government valued that cooperation, and they issued a letter, which would be a signal to the judge, give him a lower sentence. Because unlike state systems, the prosecutor doesn't decide how much time the individual gets, the judge does.
Right, and he's looking at 15 to life. Have you spent time in this jail? This place does not look very nice.
It is not very nice. I've spent so much time in this jail that God forbid anything happens to me, I think I get time served. I've been there many times. It is not a pleasant place, and many judges now, for lesser crimes, are refusing to send defendants there. And one thing you should be looking out for that was signaled today, the defense team, who are excellent, by the way, they will be making an application, as they started to today, to move him from MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, where he currently sits, to Essex County Jail. There's another possibility. They could also move him to Valhalla, which also is a Westchester County Correctional Facility that also houses federal inmates.
You've had very wealthy clients serve time here.
Yes.
What's that like as a shock to the system to then go from this level to mopping your floor at 6 a.m. and eating turkey?
Well, like Icarus, you're flying by the sun, your wings melt, and now you're in a place that to you is an abysmal hell.
Kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address to my child. None of these niggas that want to say something
Travis
now.
gave you the address, though, right?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on.
Okay.
All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway. And the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fucking fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my coat car. So y'all niggas shut the fuck up about me. Now let me say it calm. You niggas shut the fuck up about Michael.
For some context, Diddy's been arrested on serious charges, sex trafficking and racketeering, all tied to those wild parties he used to throw. Now, several sex workers are coming forward to testify against him, Honestly, the red flags were there all along. Even Kanye West saw this coming before most people did. If someone as out there as Kanye could predict this, you know it's about to hit the fan.
Just when I thought the Diddy disgustingness could not get any worse, it does. As I've told you, and I'm sure you know by now, the disgraced music mogul was arrested Monday in New York City. That caught him and his legal team by surprise because they were in talks for him to surrender on Tuesday. It happened a day earlier, and according to the authorities, drugs were found in Diddy's possession in his hotel room. Specifically, a pink powder that has since tested positive for MDMA, the Molly, the ecstasy, one of the many substances that the authorities claim Diddy partook in when having his freak-off parties. These freak-off parties are at the center of the many charges against him, including kidnapping at said parties, racketeering, sex trafficking, and more. Diddy is the father of many children, including minor daughters. These two plus one even younger. And two of these youngsters, the twins, live with Diddy. Listen, do you, boo? If you like whatever, you can do whatever. Hello, gay men do whatever. But they do it consensually. Diddy is accused of lying, coercion, violence, arson. Yeah, fire. Remember when Cassie was dating Kid Cudi and she told us about Kid Cudi's car being set on fire? And these freak-off parties that were aided and abetted by his staff have been going on for decades. And knowing that this man is facing prison, he knew what was going to happen. He still had the pink powder on him. He wanted one last freak-off. But don't worry, you'll get lots of freak-offs in prison. You'll get freaky deaky, or I should say freaky dicky, and we know Diddy likes that. And some more updates on Diddy. Yes, more. The disgusting one is struggling financially, so much so that we have heard that he is selling his private plane, as well as some of you might have heard, he previously listed his Los Angeles mansion, the one that was raided by authorities earlier this year. And his Miami Star Island home was also raided by authorities. There were, in both homes, tons of substances found, ammunition, 1,000 bottles of lube. His daughters lived in that home. What did they see or hear? As I also told you earlier, thankfully bail has been denied. Prosecutors argued that he is a flight risk, and he is. He is also a threat to society. And I got checked. I am not a lawyer, but I just thought he would accept a plea deal to avoid a very lengthy sentence behind bars. Well, we have since learned that Diddy is facing up to life in prison with a minimum of 15 years behind bars. So, former prosecutors and experts chimed in, and because of the length of time that he is facing, all the legal scholars believe that he will go to trial and will not accept a plea deal. He is facing life behind bars, where he belongs. Thoughts on this mess of a mess? Let me know everything you're thinking in the comments section. Oh, I almost forgot, a PS. There is a Hail Mary pass for Diddy. His very expensive lawyer is appealing the bail denial, and a different judge will hear that appeal about whether he should be released on bail or not. Hopefully that other judge denies the request as well. Okay, I'm back. This is the video that doesn't end. Some of you are wondering, how long is Diddy going to stay behind bars? When does the trial begin? Well, Normally, a trial takes place within 70 days of an initial appearance because defendants have a right to a speedy trial. Most of the defendants waive their right to a speedy trial, though. His lawyers want to be as prepared as possible to try and get him acquitted. And in court today, Diddy's lawyers stressed that he was in consensual relationships with everybody. He did not force anyone to do anything. He even alleged, the attorney for Diddy, that Cassie was abusive to him. Like, my brain is about to explode. Yeah. All right, enough. If there are more updates, I'll make another video for you later. Thoughts on everything that we've talked about now, let me know in the comments. A few months ago, I would not have believed what I'm about to share with you, but now I do. Following the explosive indictment and all of the charges against Kim Porter's ex, new information has come to light. New information has come to light, and I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it. As many of you know, Kim Porter is the mother of some of Diddy's children and his on-again, off-again girlfriend, alongside Cassie and I'm sure many other women. Kim Porter was also an alleged victim of Diddy's and somebody who knew many of his secrets. She died in 2018 at just 47 years old of pneumonia. Following his arrest recently, people have been calling for the authorities to open up an investigation into the death of Kim Porter. However, before she died, it is reported and said by a publisher that she gave some friends a drive featuring notes, her diary entries. And now that has been published online. If you type in Kim's Lost Words, the book will show up. You can get it online. Right now I see it's on sale for $22.49. What's interesting is the book was published on September the 6th, before Diddy's arrest. And it's taken us this long to find out about it. And there are some startling allegations in this publication, allegedly from Kim Porter herself. The diary entries paint Diddy out to be abusive, assaulting her, having affairs, cheating on her with both men and women. She even goes into details on his freak-off parties, which she took part in. Not only was Diddy physically abusive, according to this book, he was also verbally abusive, even threatening to unalive her. 2018. In the book, Kim Porter, or what we're told is her words, allege that she discovered tapes Diddy made of himself having sex with young boys he was managing, including an alleged tape involving an 18-year-old pop star who went on to be a household name. One entry from this book reads, quote, "He hosted parties that were just a fancy name of freak-offs, and everyone wanted in. We not only had threesomes, but we also swapped partners. Our sex life was crazy, but I got to do things with Sean I would have never been able to do with a straight man." I don't know if I'm believing this. Okay, all right, I don't know if I'm believing it. One time it says, "I woke up and left the bedroom where I was, and Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with a chart-topping rapper and the woman's husband." The Porter memoir claims that Sean first assaulted her after she refused to use a strap-on on him. "I just can't stop thinking about that night. It was amazing. Can you screw me one more time, please?" Diddy said, according to the book. This could be fan fiction, but it could be real. I don't know.
I became infuriated, Porter allegedly said. Then Sean hit me. This was the first time, but he slapped me hard. Before I could form words, he began to beg, I'm so sorry. Another incident, he allegedly pulled out a GUN. Another incident, he apparently pulled out a GUN. Allegedly, Diddy had a vault, which is where he kept these secret tapes. Okay, this is just bananas. The book's publisher claims that the friends of Kim Porter's who gave him the memoir also had copies of the alleged tapes of Diddy. And that hasn't leaked. I don't know. I'm gonna say I'm not 100% on board with this alleged book. But hey, it's Diddy. We now know anything is possible. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
And now, with Diddy behind bars and the clock ticking, the world is watching to see how this all unfolds. Will justice be served, or will we see yet another shocking twist in the story? One thing's for sure, this is far from over. Stay tuned, because this saga is only just beginning. And trust me, it's about to get even wilder.